Hello everyone, Diego here. Today I'd like to share with you guys how I actually plan my course when I'm out running, and also a little tips of how the weather and can incorporate that into your course. So the first place that I go is Garmin website. You don't have to own a Garmin device in order to create an account, so it's very straightforward. So you go and connect to their website. And you're gonna click sign in, and you can just create an account. So you just provide with these informations, you confirm that you're at least 16 years old, and then you just create it. And you're gonna get straight away access to the website. In my case, I'm gonna connect using the credentials that I created yesterday. So there you go. Just in case if you want to connect with me, just send an email there, it's fine. And then connect, sign in. And then you're gonna be presented with the dashboard. And of course, if you have a device, you're gonna see all kinds of informations like activities, personal bests, challenges, your training calendar. But in our case, because we don't have a device, it's nothing to show. And you're gonna see all these, in the left side menu, you're gonna see all these different options for you to click. But because you don't have anything, so it's nothing very peculiar here. But what you want is coming here to this training and planning. And here, like, there's also several options, but still you don't need to worry about that. But this one, courses, is the one that you need to look for. And once you click there, you have an option to create a course. So once you click here, you are presented with the options that you want to participate or you want to create your course about. And in my case, I select running. Because I'm more familiar to, of course, where I live, we're gonna put here Dublin. You can set a name for your event, for your course. Running Phoenix Park. So let's set a Phoenix Park as our place of training because it's a very well-known park. It's quite big. So, and I live not very far from that. If you just scroll down here, you can have a better look and you can actually set your initial point where you want to start. So let's say I set the starting point here, and then we're gonna click where we want to set their place next. That way I have a part of my course and it's gonna tell you the distance that you have so far. Because you don't have a device, of course, you can download it to your device so it can help you. In my case, I have my Garmin here, but potentially you are running in the neighborhood that you are familiar with. So you have a sense where actually you're gonna go. So just make a course so you can know more or less the distance that you want to train in that day and actually where you want to go. That makes your life so much easier. So that's a very good advice. The other things that you can see here is that you have the elevation. So you can see that you come all the way from 174 feet all the way to 161 feet. It's not that bad, like 7 feet of descent. But still, like I said, you have a very good idea of the courses that you're doing. So for instance, I would very easily go all the way here, come here, and for instance, I can do a loop, and that's 4 miles, which is good. Not bad. Usually my running session is a little bit longer, but that's fine. So just so you guys have an idea more or less how the course setup works. Another option that you can do is that, okay, I have no idea where I want to run. Can you just suggest me some course? Of course. So if you scroll up here, you have the option to go here and set as automatic. Of course, because it was setting as custom, it's going to ask to confirm. I can set the distance that I want, for instance, 10 miles, and I set the direction. So once I set the initial point, it's going to draw a course that we can take. So there you go. One thing to note is that it never gets exactly the distance that you set, but at least you have an idea, and you can just kind of improvise as best as you can. So if I scroll up, I have these course. This looks much more than 10 miles. No, it's 2 miles more. So you have an idea more or less. So if you, for instance, if you get one of these, so if I start here and if I get one street somewhere down, so probably you're gonna decrease that. Sometimes it gives you a little bit less. Sometimes it gives you a little bit more. So if, for instance, if I set a different direction here, let's say east, you're going to see that this is going to be different. But like I said, it's just so you have an idea. Oh, sorry, refresh. So if I go back to Phoenix Park, and you can see here, you have 9.66. which is pretty much close. And again, because here we are running within the city center, it's much easier for you to just get a parallel street and make the whole 10 miles. So that's one of the tips that I usually use for my training sessions. So for instance, let's say I have sprints. So if I want to create a sprint course, I would actually just check how long I'm going to run on that sprint, and then try to figure out where actually there is a continuous straight line, particular flat, so I don't have to sprint uphill, unless the train is specifically for going uphill. So I usually would set my course that way. In this case, I know that from here to here is very flat, so I would usually, and I know that it's more or less 1 kilometer, I would usually, if my sprint is 1 kilometer, I would take this course. I would take this lap and just go back and forth, 1K, 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 1K.
Another good feature is the pace calculator. So for instance, if you set this as automatic, and it works for the custom as well. If you draw your course, and then, we're talking about 10 miles. If you scroll down here all the way, you're going to see this option here, the pace calculator. And what it does, it just gives you an idea of your time. So let's say if I want to run a 10 mile in 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, and I just lose focus of this field, it's going to give me the pace. And you can tweak with numbers to have a sense particular section or particular course. So use these features, very nice. I definitely use a lot.
Another tip that I have, especially in Ireland, is that it winds so much here, so you have to be very conscious about the wind direction. So I usually go to a weather website, and then I would see how strong is the wind and which direction it's going. So if the wind is too strong that day, I will usually warm up in the same direction of the wind, because I can control my pace better. Some people might do the opposite, but it's a personal preference. So in this case, for instance, we are 4:00 p.m. and the wind is southwest and 32, which is very strong. and I can see some branches just waving outside. So in this case, so it's going southwest. So what I would do is go here. Okay, which direction is southwest? It's here. So I'll take some kind of reference for me to plan my route as well. And this is especially important if you are actually cycling. If running, it's bad, but cycling is even worse. Like 32 kilometers per hour in wind, 32 kilometers per hour winding on a bicycle. It is crazy. And we have some mountains here in Dublin Mountains, and you have to be very careful if it's winding that much. But anyway, so if it's winding, just be cautious. Sometimes you might feel, especially if you're starting, you might feel that you're not progressing very well, but actually the wind might be driving you back. So just be cautious about it and don't stress too much. It happens. In a mindset perspective, it's a little bit frustrating because if you're getting a lot of headwind and you're not moving forward, you say, oh my God, like what is going on? And that's probably why. And that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching my video. Stay tuned for more. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and see you next time.